Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, how are you? I hope that you explore my channel just a little bit more, but this is a serious video. I'm gonna go ahead and put a warning at the beginning of this video, and I'm also going to explain it. If mental abuse bothers you, if physical abuse bothers you, if sexual abuse bothers you, if suicide bothers you, this is probably not the video for you. But I am trying to show my platform. The reason that I started this channel was to raise awareness for mental health, and so that's what I'm gonna do today. I was married previously before Naz, and Naz is my light at the end of the tunnel. I can show you that happiness does come out of bad things. So I'm here to show you that no matter what you've been through, you can have happiness. So here we go. I got married in 2011, sorry. I married in 2011 to a man who was extremely verbally abusive to me after we got married. Just little things here and there. He would talk down to me, and I was pregnant with our son. He was diagnosed with several mental illnesses. So manic bipolar being one of them, and borderline personality disorder. And I will put some definitions right here for you that just tell you what they are and why they're extremely hard to manage. I would beg him to get help because we were having a son together. I didn't want to give up on our marriage. I didn't want to give up on this life that he had promised me before we got married. But, you know, he would go get help and then he would get off medication again. So we had our son in 2012, and it was a great day for me. And it was a wonderful day for him, and he was an incredible child. But soon after having him, I noticed a lot of issues because I was giving most of my time to my son, taking care of him because he was a newborn. If you know anything about borderline personality disorder, you want to be the main focus of the person that you love. And so he was not the main focus of our lives anymore, or for me anymore. It was Brayden. And so he started to step out on me, started to cheat on me. And so in this time frame, I asked for him and I to separate. We started sleeping in separate rooms. It's very hard to, live like that. We ended up pregnant with Celia from a one-time thing, and it wasn't really consensual, let's be honest. And we got pregnant with Celia, so I moved to North Carolina with him because at that point I didn't think that I could raise two kids on my own. So I packed all of our stuff and we moved to North Carolina. And we got there and things just seemingly got worse because now I'm pregnant with a second child that I'm going to have to give all of my attention to. And he turned back into this monster that I didn't recognize. And so he was very verbally abusive at this time. So it wasn't physical yet, and it had become sexually abusive before I was pregnant with my daughter. He cheated on me the whole time we were in North Carolina. So bad that my mother noticed. And we didn't sleep in the same room. I had my own room, he had his own room. We didn't sleep in the same room with each other. We had Celia in February, and It was the most miraculous moment of my life because I got a daughter and I had my son. And I felt like my life was complete. And just to see him happy for one moment, you know, took most of this weight off of my chest. Maybe that he would come around or he would get help because of Celia. So he did. He did get some help. He did go get on medication and things did get better. But not for me, just for the kids. He mostly dedicated his time to them, and that was fine. I didn't mind it. And so people didn't know how bad our relationship actually was because, you know, everybody wants to convey their relationship as picture perfect so that people don't get involved too much. So when we would go see family or family would come visit, we would sleep in the same room and put pillows in between us in the beds. There are pictures of us with the kids in the room with us, but it was very much staged photoing, very much staged for people around us. They didn't know. We ended up going to Fort Hood, Texas, and I was actually really excited about moving there. I couldn't wait. We were getting a 4-bedroom house. I was gonna have my own room. I wasn't gonna have to worry about much. I was gonna be able to take care of my kids, and he was going to deploy. So that was gonna give me at least a year to get me together, get the kids together, and maybe him to get himself together. Everything started to become extremely physically abusive when we moved to Texas. He would push me, he would shove me, he would act like he was gonna backhand me in my face. He would yell at me, he spit at me. I can't tell you the things that he has done to me to make me feel like I was worthless. There's so much that I couldn't explain to you, all of the things that he had done to me. But the last straw for me when I was ready to be done with our marriage was when Christmas time had come and we were coming home from his family's house, and we got back to our house and I was putting things up and we got to the top of the stairs. We were having an argument about something fucking stupid, probably, excuse my language, but yeah, it was stupid. And he tried to push me down a flight of stairs. I was so ready for him to be gone, and he deployed in February, so not much longer after that he deployed. So he went to Korea and I got my shit together. So I started noticing how verbally abusive he was to me. I noticed how he would gaslight me, he would love bomb me, he would just treat me like I was disposable, but I wasn't to him. He needed me. So he would make me feel worthless to a point where I didn't feel like anybody else would ever love me. And so once he left, I became myself again. I got to sit down and look at all of this and analyze it and the way that he talked to me while he was there. And it's so bad that my little sister came to Texas and heard the way that he talked to me, and she couldn't even believe it. On Mother's Day, he asked me for a divorce, and I told him yes, that I would gladly take it, and that we would go our separate ways. But I would never take the kids from him because I'm not that kind of person. He was cool with it, and not even 12 hours later, he called me and told me he hoped I died and that he found me in a ditch when he came home from Korea. The mother of your children you talk to like that. I mean, it would just be on and off again and on and off again. And I told him, hey, I think I'm gay. I think that there is so much more going on with me. And he would be supportive, and I understand. I hope that you find happiness. And then the next minute it would be, I hate you. I hope you die, you stupid bitch. It was bad. It was so bad. And he would do this in front of the kids. And that's what bothered me more than anything that he could ever do, was he talked down to me in front of my kids to teach my children that it was okay to talk to the people that they love like that. moving on. So we got legally separated in the summer of 2016. And in August, I went home to celebrate my birthday, where people disagreed with the fact that I went out while my husband was deployed, but we were legally separated. And to all you people that are watching that said something about that, fuck you. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be nice on this video to those people that talked shit about me the entire time, but tried to come around and be my friend when my husband died. So, back to the story. Sorry about that. And I really don't care. But, yeah, I went to Tennessee. I went and see my family. I went out with my sister-in-law. I had a great time, and it was an incredible time that I was there. My mom actually witnessed him trying to commit suicide on video chat in front of me and my children. My mom tried to calm him down because at that point I couldn't. So his father did get involved and sent a Red Cross letter. And I don't know what he said to his family. I do know what he said to a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, that I had brought another man into our house and our kids were calling him dad, which was not the fucking case. So, I mean, I don't know all the stuff that he has told people, or I just don't know. His Facebook has been deactivated. I just got his phone back not even a year ago, so I don't know how to even look and see, and I really don't care to see because I don't want to know. But yeah, so moving on, he tried to do it in Korea once, and Red Cross letter, and when he came home, they were supposed to, you know, come over and ask me if I could handle him, if they needed to keep him in a barracks room. Long story short, they never came and done that. They never came and did it. They never came and asked me any questions if I felt like I was going to be able to handle him when he came home. And they also lied in their statement that they came and checked our safe, which they did not, because they said that I had a key. There was no fucking key to that safe. There was a passcode. So once again, thanks Army for fucking lying. And so yeah, he came home in October of 2016. My kids were so excited. I mean, it was a great time for them. They were so happy. They couldn't be happier that their dad was home. So he was home for 4 days, and on the 4th day, he fired a gun off in our home in the direction of me and the kids while we were walking out of the house. He ended up back in a hospital getting a mental evaluation. Thank you to a friend of ours, and I'm so grateful for her doing that because she probably saved my life. And so I came home later that night because I had went to a friend's house because I was kind of scared to be at home because I didn't know when he was going to come home. And then I had had a drink, and so a friend of ours drove me home. And I got out of the car, and we walked the kids inside, and he walked in with us because Gabby just literally lived around the street, and he was just going to walk back and get in his car. And I walked inside, went around the corner to put my keys on the counter, and he was standing there hiding with a gun, and he put it in my face. Thank God for this man being there, and he said something, and it turned his aggression from me to this guy. Anyways, he ended up pistol whipping this guy, and I ran the kids upstairs because I didn't know what to do. I started to pack clothes for the kids, and I put the kids in the room. I locked them in. I couldn't think. I had the skeleton key. I didn't want them out of the room, so I locked them in, put them in. We argued. I went downstairs, saw the gun. I know things about guns, so I cleared the chamber, and I took the clip out, and he did not like that, so he decided to beat the shit out of me in front of some friends who called the MPs. 6 MP cars pull up to my house, which is not normal for a domestic phone call. And so I'm very confused. They ask me if he has a weapon because he won't let them in the house, and I tell them there is a weapon in the house, but I don't know if he has it, which is the truth. I don't know if he has it. he locked the door, so I had to go get the keys out of my van to unlock the door for them. And I went to go inside to get my kids because I did not feel like they were safe at all. So I went inside to get my kids, and they threw me backwards. I hit the ground, they threw me backwards so hard. So at that point, I knew something else was going on, and I didn't know what to do. So I ended up sitting down with Gabby on the ground, and thank God for her because she kept me calm. And finally, I heard a gunshot. I heard someone say, ow, and I panicked because I thought he killed somebody, and I thought, oh shit, here he goes. He's going to jail for the rest of his life. He didn't kill anybody else. The civilian cop came out and told me that he needed to speak to me alone. So I walked over with him, and he said, ma'am, I don't want to be the one to tell you this. I said, is he gone? And he said, yes, ma'am, he is gone. And at that moment, my world shifted. And I'm not going to lie and act like I wasn't sad, because I was. And I don't know if I was even sad for me. I was sad for my kids. My kids' world just changed. Like, in a second, it was over for them. They didn't have their dad, and all they had was me. So I pulled my shit together, and they brought the kids downstairs, and they ended up over at Gabby's house because I was going to have to go to CID and do a timeline for them. So, you know, they were asking about their dad, and I just told them that we would speak about it tomorrow, because how do you tell your kids at 1 in the morning that they don't have their dad anymore? I would like to know how anybody would have ever handled it that hasn't been through it. So I waited, and I talked to them about it the next day when my parents got to Texas. Because my parents dropped everything to come and help me. I wasn't allowed to enter my house for days. And it was very hard because I didn't know what was going to happen. So I have an incredible CAO that I'm still in contact with that helped me through so much. And yes, I am a widow, or was a widow. And yes, it was a verbally and sexually abusing relationship. And yes, it was a hard time, and yes, he killed himself because of him not being supported through the mental health. There's not enough support for mental health in this country. Probably in this entire world, there's not enough. So, I now suffer from PTSD thanks to this. And to be honest, I'm grateful that I'm still here, and because he was ready to take me with him, and that would be why all the MPs were there, because he wrote somebody telling them he was taking me with them. I'm grateful for you, whoever you are, because they never released your name to me. I'm grateful for everybody that stood by me through all of this. I'm grateful that my kids were young when this happened. I'm grateful that he didn't hurt my children. I'm grateful that he didn't hurt anyone else. I hope he is at peace. I hope that he doesn't struggle anymore. I hope that somebody walks away from this feeling that life goes on. And I moved back to Clarksville to be closer to my family, and teach my kids that life goes on. And yes, it's hard that they don't have their dad, but they got something even better out of this situation, and so did I. I got a healthy relationship. I fell in love with the person I was supposed to be in love with my whole life. She understands and she supports me through every emotional breakdown that I have. She supports me through my issues I have because of him. And she takes care and loves my children like they're hers. And I'm sorry that this is extremely emotional at the end, but when it comes to my children, it's completely different. But to know at the end of this that they got happiness, and so did I, it makes this whole situation worth it. I just really hope that somebody takes this and knows that you're worth more no matter what kind of relationship you're in. I hope that you understand that I know it's hard to get out, but do it, and do it before it's you, because I could have not been so lucky. And I know it's hard. I know it is so hard to get out of abusive relationships because I've been in one, and I was in one for 6 years. So please don't think that I don't understand. And I really hope that you made it to the end of this video. I know it's a long one, but this is something that is very important. And I needed to get my story out there because I feel like it's time for people to understand that there is happiness at the end. And I know a lot of people ask what happened to their dad and why he's not in the picture. So I hope that this story helps somebody, helps someone get out of a mentally abusive relationship, out of a sexually abusive relationship, out of just physical abusive relationship, or anyone that is struggling with a significant other taking their lives with suicide. I hope that this helps you know that no matter how bad it is, better days are going to come, and life does get better. So thank you for watching. Thank you for staying till the end. I really hope that you guys subscribe to my channel, get to know me more, turn on your notification bell to know when I upload more videos. Yeah, and I just hope you guys have a good rest of the week. And yeah, please share this video because I know that it's going to get to somebody that actually needs it. If that isn't you, I hope it gets to someone in your friends group. I hope it gets to someone that really needs to hear this story. Yeah, so I hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and I will see you guys on Sunday.